Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to take a little bit of a look at some news. There's some new stuff going on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a little bit excited about it, and if I may be so bold as to suggest, I think you should be too. Now, there is a Champions League. That's where we're going to start this week, today. I don't know. There is a Champions League going on this weekend over in Japan, and essentially it's happening over in Yokohama. It's not confirmed, but I think there is an excellent chance that this is actually in the venue for Worlds next year, because remember, Worlds 2023 has been confirmed to be happening in Yokohama over in Japan. To say I'm excited would be somewhat of an understatement, and I know I'm not the only one. Now, there was a promo that had yet to actually be shown off. Well, the good news is, ladies and gentlemen, there is a promo that has now gone and been shown off. We now know what it is. It is the Typhlosion V, or I suppose to give it its proper name, Jade Typhlosion V. Or, Hisuian Typhlosion V. There we go. Lovely. Now, essentially, this is actually one we've seen before. This is the Hisuian Typhlosion V that came around in our tins a little while ago, and Japan never got that. Remember, that's quite important. That tin was never actually, that tin had brand new artwork that had never been seen anywhere else. Japan hadn't had it yet, and we all thought that it might be being saved for V-Star Universe, which incidentally was a pretty sensible prediction. But no, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't saved for V-Star Universe. It is being used as a promo here. Now, of course, there is a fairly interesting question here of, well, hang on a second. Does that mean that the others, because remember we had a full set of free tins, and both the Hisuian Decidueye and Hisuian Samurott also had brand new artwork never seen before that Japan to date hasn't actually got? And the answer is, we don't know. To be honest with you, we have no idea if this artwork is going to be saved for V-Star Universe, or whether this artwork is in fact going to be used in later Champions Leagues over in Japan. That is, either of those is completely in play, either of those is entirely possible. But I do love that this artwork has finally seen the light of day over in Japan. I love that they are finally getting this. And of course, there was no reveal. We were kind of half expecting a set reveal to be coming today for the new set, the Lugia set Paradigm Trigger. We've already seen that Lugia is on the booster pack artwork for Silver Tempest. We know it's going to be on Paradigm Trigger. It's just a question of when that actually gets shown off. Because we didn't have a reveal this weekend, as in this Friday, and we were kind of due a reveal, although it's not certain, it is very, very likely that Paradigm Trigger is going to be revealed on the stream of Yokohama Champions League this weekend. So all I'm going to tell you is keep an eye on this channel, yeah? Because it is very, 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 very likely that you will be seeing it over this weekend. So, keep an eye on this channel. As soon as we know anything, ladies and gentlemen, I will let you know. I don't usually make many videos over the weekend, but this weekend, because there's almost certainly going to be a new set revealed, I am willing to make an exception. Because, come on, it's pretty gosh darned cool. So, yeah, Hisuian Typhlosion is here, and maybe the others are going to come join a little bit later, or maybe they are not. And while we're talking about cool stuff happening over in Japan, remember I showed you that they are doing a series of little tournaments for the Rainbow Rare Lucario, where you can get the full art Lucario, because remember that had never previously been released in Japan. We got it in the Lucario V-Star Premium Collection. Japan had never had that. And also the Rainbow Rare Lucario, which we still don't have. Remember, Lucario was exclusive to the Lucario V-Star Premium Collection, had never been released anywhere else. It wasn't in a set. And because Lucario started life in its own deck over in Japan, there was no Rainbow Rare version of Lucario to put in a set. So, if there is a Rainbow Rare version, then generally what happens is we'll get the Rainbow Rare in the set and the regular as a promo, but there was no Rainbow Rare version Lucario. There is now over in Japan, and essentially what you have to do is take part in these Incandescent Arcana tournaments, where you get 10 packs of Incandescent Arcana, and then you make a deck, and you play, and if you win, and there's a bunch of them going around, if you win, you get yourself the Lucario. Nice! Something to get pretty gosh darn excited about, I think it's fair to say. And do remember, I've done a couple of openings on this channel of Incandescent Arcana. You'll notice that the V-Stars and Vs come as pairs. So if you pull Superior V-Star, you will get Superior V and the other way round. And if you pull Alolan Vulpix V-Star, you will get the V and the other way round. Those cards don't exist on their own impacts. You will draw them as a pair, and you'll notice there are fewer types represented. A bunch of the types have been left out, because this was very deliberately designed to be a set which was being used for sealed events like this. Well, I can't tell you these events are coming over to US, Europe, etc., because as it stands, they're not. We don't have Incandescent Arcana. However, it is worth bearing in mind that there are some other Asian territories that do have Incandescent Arcana, and the good news for those territories is that these tournaments have been extended. So we do have confirmation that it is going to be happening in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Thailand. There are, of course, other Asian territories like Indonesia and Korea that generally tend to get the same set as Japan as well. So, no guarantee here, but I do think it is moderately likely that we are going to see these tournaments happening over there at some point as well, which is lovely. It's not much use for us, unfortunately, and yes, I know that is genuinely a little bit sad, but you know what? Let's be happy that they get it. It is also worth noting that although we didn't always see this in the Sun and Moon era, we have seen that Pokemon have been extremely good in making sure that we get all of these weird Japanese promos. So although I can't guarantee, yes, we are missing the Rainbow Rare Lucario, and yes, it is pretty likely that we will be getting it at some point. No, I can't say for certain. It would be lovely if I could, but I do think it is absolutely fair to say that it's likely that we'll get it at some point, and that's rather lovely. But we need to finish off on a little bit of bad news. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, a little while ago, I told you about a new blister that was being released and was being able to be bought in various places, like on the Pokemon Center. It was the Pokemon TCG Galarian Articuno, Galarian Zapdos, and Galarian Moltres cards with 2 booster packs and coin. I'm going to be honest with you, right? It's not very snappily named, and for that I can only apologise. And the thing was, we looked at this initially, and I said lots of good things about this product. It seemed like a pretty cool product, because we all know that Galarian Moltres is an amazing card that's seen a whole bunch of play, and although Galarian Articuno and Galarian Zapdos aren't quite on the same level, they're still pretty gosh darn good cards, so this was quite nice. Because of course this was not the only iteration of this we'd ever seen. A little while ago we saw the Forces of Nature blister, which was basically the same kind of thing, except with worse cards. Because that came with the Thundurus, Landorus, and Tornadus, and you have to be pretty generous to see if they're good. The thing is, the Forces of Nature trio, that blister came, it turned out, with Cosmos Hollow foils. That is a kind of star-style foil, whereas nowadays we get very, as I like to call it, kind of straight-line foil. And that made those cards very, very interesting. It didn't make them any better playability-wise, but if you are a particularly pedantic collector, these were new versions of the cards that weren't available anywhere else, and that's really kind of awesome. Well, I need to give a shout out to my lovely friend DJ Gigabyte here, who went and did something that I don't have to, because they did do a video. I'll pop a link to the video in the description. Dan is awesome. Do make sure you check out his channel. Unfortunately, it turns out they're not. They're just like they were in the regular set. Which basically means if you buy this, I mean, the packs shown on the Pokemon Center are 2 packs of Astral Radiance, which is an alright set, but we're not talking about a stunning set here. So you get a couple of packs and 3 cards for $10. And they're still pretty good cards. You know, I still have a lot of time for the cards. I still think they're kind of cool cards. The problem is, we all assumed that they were going to be unique. Now, what you could do here is go, well, hang on a second, Wassy. Pokemon never said they were unique. They never told us they were unique. We extrapolated from the forces of nature trio, Blister, and yes, we did. Absolutely we did. When I told you about this product in a previous video, I told you that I was pretty sure they were going to be Cosmos Foil. Because the last ones had been, why wouldn't these be? That made perfect sense to me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, they're not. They are just regular, ordinary, everyday, run-of-the-mill, exactly as they would come out of the pack. So, yeah. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's just the way it is. Now I can't really recommend this product. I mean, look, your Galarian Moltres, great card because it's an amazing Mew counter. All of these, when you bench them, you can attach 2 extra energy of the requisite type, same type as the Pokemon, to them. You know, Galarian Moltres does 20 plus 50 for each prize card your opponent has taken. Great Mew counter, as I've said. Galarian Articuno, the attack isn't great. It does 120 to one of your opponent's Pokemon for free energy. It's not amazing. Generally tends to go best with decks like Shadow Rider Calyrex, for instance, the ones to get a lot of energy on the field to boost up their damage. In those kind of decks, just getting this extra energy on the field can be a real bonus. So it's kind of cool in that regard. And this has seen a little bit of play in some decks. I'm not saying it's great, but I am saying it has popped up in decks here or there. And then you've got the Galarian Zapdos, which does 70 damage and you can discard all energy, and if you do, paralysis, which again isn't great, but it's still an interesting card. I like the cards, but the cards have been available for a while and they ain't that expensive. So this is another one of those products. I'm not saying don't buy it, but I absolutely am saying that if you buy it, keep it sealed, would ya? This is kind of a cool, weird curiosity for your sealed collection. It is not something to actually go and buy to open. There are better uses for your $10. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. A rather awesome promo coming over in Japan, and you better believe the fact that it's stamped makes me want it way more than the English version. We've got confirmation that Lucario thing is happening in other Asian territories, and we've got this new product. We weren't lied to, but we did extrapolate and hope, and we are sad. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about these stories. I want to know anything you want to tell me, so let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy. That's where we talk Pokemon and card games and Pokemon, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts where I answer all of your questions, join a Discord and have a chat, just generally have an awful lot of fun. And I give shout outs to people like the lovely Tobias Toprato. Thank you very much for being a patron, Tobias, and for being a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.